SUSE Linux Enterprise Server is a Linux-based operating system developed by SUSE. It is designed for servers, mainframes, and workstations but can be installed on desktop computers for testing as well. Major versions are released at an interval of 3–4 years, while minor versions are released about every 18 months. SUSE Linux Enterprise products, including SUSE Linux Enterprise Server, receive more intense testing than the openSUSE community product, with the intention that only mature, stable versions of the included components will make it through to the released enterprise product. SLES 11 SP4 was released July 16, 2015, which is developed from a common code base with SUSE Linux Enterprise Desktop and other SUSE Linux Enterprise products. History: SLES has been developed based on SUSE Linux by a small team led by Marcus Kraft and Bernhard Kindle as principal developer, who was supported by Joachim Schra. It was first released on October 31, 2000 as a version for IBM S/390 mainframe machines. In December 2000, the first enterprise client was made public. In April 2001, the first SLES for x86 was released. SLES version 9 was released in August 2004. Service Pack 4 was released in December 2007. It is supported by hardware vendors including IBM, HP, Sun Microsystems, Dell, SGI, Lenovo, and Fujitsu Siemens computers. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 10 was released in July 2006, and is also supported by the major hardware vendors. Service Pack 4 was released in April 2011. SLES 10 shares a common code base with SUSE Linux Enterprise Desktop 10 and Novell's desktop distribution for business use and other SUSE Linux Enterprise products. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 11 was released on March 24, 2009 and include Linux kernel 2.6.27, Oracle Cluster File System Release 2, support for the OpenAIS Cluster Communication Protocol for server and storage clustering, and Mono 2.0. SLES 11 SP1 rebased the kernel version to 2.6.32. In February 2012, SLES 11 SP2 was released, based on kernel version 3.0.10. SLES 11 SP2 included a consistent network device naming feature for Dell servers. IBM's Watson was built on IBM's Power 7 systems using SLES. The SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 12 beta was made available on February 25, 2014, and the final version was released on the 27th of October, 2014. Version history: release dates of SUSE Linux Enterprise Server versions. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server, for S/390, October 31, 2000, for SPARC, April 2001, for IA32, April 2001. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 7, initial release, October 13, 2001, for first time, common code base for all architectures. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 8 initial release, October 2002, SP1, SP2, SP2A, SP3, SP4. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 9, initial release, August 3, 2004, SP1, January 19, 2005, SP2, July 7, 2005, SP3, December 22, 2005, SP4, December 12, 2007. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 10, initial release, June 17, 2006, SP1, June 18, 2007, SP2, May 19, 2008, SP3, October 12, 2009, SP4, April 12, 2011. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 11, initial release, March 24, 2009, SP1, June 2, 2010, SP2, February 15, 2012, SP3, July 1, 2013, SP4, July 16, 2015. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 12, initial release, October 28, 2014. Hypervisor kernel supported, SLES 10, Zen 3.2, SLES 11 SP1, Zen 4.0, KVM with QEMU 0.12, SLES 11 SP2, Zen 4.1, KVM with QEMU 0.15. See also: SUSE Linux distributions, Linux on Z systems, list of Linux distributions, comparison of Linux distributions, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. References. Further reading, Jason Eckert. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server Administration. Pages 760. ISBN 978-1-4188-3731-0. Jason Eckert. Advanced SUSE Linux Enterprise Server Administration. Pages 432. ISBN 978-1-4188-3732-7. Eckert, Jason. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server Security. Course Technology. ISBN 978-1-4283-2223-3. Kuo, Peter. Jacques Belland. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 9 Administrator's Handbook. Novell Press. ISBN 978-0-672-32735-3. Van Vugt, Sander. The Definitive Guide to a SUSE Linux Enterprise Server. A Press. ISBN 978-1-59059-708-8. Harris, Jeffrey. Mike Latimer. Novell Open Enterprise Server Administrator's Handbook, SUSE Linux Edition. Novell Press. ISBN 978-0-672-32749-0. External links: SUSE Linux Enterprise Server Product Page, SUSE Linux Enterprise Server Cool Solutions Euro Tips and Tricks, Guides, Tools and other resources submitted by the SUSE Linux Enterprise community.